Well, good afternoon. Yes, look how great they're doing. They're really up, awake, active right now. Yeah. Angela, there's your little guy. Oh, you're so handsome. Yes, you are. There's the other little tricolor. Yes, hi, honey. They're looking for my hand to pick them up. This one's a boy. Hey! Adults, settle down. Michael. Mike. I don't know who's going by the front yard. Oh. Their favorite dog. It's an Akita. Every time we walk by their yard, he barks really bad at my guys. So I guess they gotta bark right back. Okay, I'm sorry, I'm here. Oh my goodness. They're actually asking to get out. Mika, get down, honey. I've let them out and they run around in the living room, but I'm in the middle of prepping supper, so I can't just let them out because I have to be here to watch them. Because Susie dear loves babies. Her first litter, and she's only had 2, her first litter, she was done with them after 4 weeks. That's it, that's all. But ever since then, she's loved everybody's baby. And I actually had to see how I've got this all curtained off. That's what I have to do in order for them to not see their mother. Because if they see their mother, and if their mother sees them, it helps stimulate milk production. And she's trying to wean them off right now. So I keep it like this. Well, with Susie, I did this, but she came out and she pulled all of the clothespins off and pulled the sheets down. Pulled all the sheets down and would just make them cry and everything anyway, and lick them at the edge of the playpen. And any chance she would get, she snuck in when they were 7 weeks old and was still trying to feed them. I had to make her stop feeding them at 6.5 weeks. Now they had teeth, and she just wouldn't stop feeding them. But she'll come in here and she'll let these guys try to suckle off of her. But she doesn't have any milk right now, and she shouldn't be suckling anything because they can transfer bacteria, parasites. Now, mind you, none of mine have anything, and they're regularly dewormed. They were just done June, and basically every time we have a litter of puppies, I deworm my adults. So they get it for sure once a year, sometimes twice a year. Yes. But they play a lot outside, and the first things that they do is put their nose into everything. So if they're going to get anything, We have a lot of chipmunks in our not chipmunks, squirrels in our backyard, and they actually have gotten fleas from the chipmunks in the backyard. Okay. They're actually sucking on my fingers and my hands. So they're really wanting Mommy to come in here. Yeah. But they're all doing awesome. They're really doing awesome. This one is a girl. She's really beautiful. She's got her little bit of a mustache there, and she's got her imperial markings up here. That's what that crest is. She's the smaller of the two girls, and that's what she looks like. And the other girl is right here. It's the science-based natural nutrition you expect from blue buffalo. She's got her imperial crest as well. Little bit of a mustache. And she's the most white of them all. When this is cut, it actually looks like a little Mickey Mouse. Kind of like... Goodness sakes. Little girl, what's the matter? Oh, come on. Yes. And this is the littlest guy. This one and this one. Right here are the littlest boys. And by saying littlest, they're probably going to run between 9 and 11 pounds. The bigger guys are going to run closer to, we've had one of Mikey and Shelby's that has gone 20 pounds. And we've had one go 15 pounds. But I also have one that's just over 7 pounds, and that's from the same mom and dad. So it really all depends, because Mikey's dad was brown, liver colored, solid color, imperial Shitzu. He was 14 years old and 10 pounds. All of Mikey's brothers were brindle. And brindle is really, really pretty. But I was going in the hopes of ending up with some white ones, or whiter. And we've come close, because that girl right there is pretty white, black face, but the rest of her is very white. Hi, honey. Yes. But this is Shelby and Mikey's last litter. Shh. Poo-poo. Hi, poo-poos. Hi, poo-poos. Yes. Yes. Shelby, where are you? Shelby. Come here. Oh, yeah. You're pretty full. There you go, guys. She's not going to like this too much, because some of them have teeth. And she is in the process of weaning them, but they just attack her. But she's really good with them. She lays in here and grooms them and plays with them, and it's almost like she knows this is her last one, so she's really enjoying it. Oops, someone rolled over. Oh, goodness. Get back in there. Okay, okay, over here. Look. Come from this side, yeah. There's 6 of them, and she has 9 teats. So 3 of them will get a second full teat. And the other ones will either go back to the one they were sucking on or bounce around and see if they can find one that's not as quite as empty as the one they were just on. Yeah. That's why people ask me if we have a runt. And we've never really had a runt. We've had the smallest of the litter, but any of them that are small, I always make sure that they get attached to one of her hind teats so that that puppy will have the bottom teat as soon as it's done the top one. So they get chunked up pretty good. Because really, this one and this one, I think, if that's the boy, yeah, these 2 were the smallest. And you can still see that they are the smallest, but they're still a really good size. Fat bellies and there's a few toys in here that they're chewy toys for them, so just climbing over the top, eh, big guy? He's not the biggest. Angela, your little guy isn't the biggest, but him and him are the biggest of the boys. He's the biggest boy. But the only girl that's bigger than him or his size is this one right here, so he can push just about anybody out of the way if he wants to. Yeah. They're all so cute. I just love them all. My next keep is a Susie keep, though, because Shelby has her daughter. That's Mika. Mika has her daughter. That's Sarah. And that's the end of that. Sarah's the baby and always will be that baby. And has mom and grandma there. So, but Susie doesn't have anybody. And she challenges Shelby a lot because they're less than a year apart. And Susie's very, I'm not going to say aggressive, but she wants to rule the roost, and she'll go and she'll pee over wherever Shelby's peed. She'll pee on top of wherever Mika is peed, and Sarah as well. So she's trying to claim her space. And Shelby just goes back and pees over everybody. Mika doesn't really pee on her mom, but she will pee on Susie's. Hmm? They do still pee on the bed occasionally, but most of the boys like to walk out to as far as they can. So some of them will go and pee right on the edges and poop on the edges. I pick the poop up too. Otherwise, puppies have a tendency to eat it. So, and the girls don't seem to mind so much peeing a little closer to their bed or even on their bed. And the little guys, it doesn't really matter whether it's a boy or a girl. The littler ones will just only go so far, and then they'll pee. So, by no means will any of them be paper trained. It takes a little bit longer than that to paper train them. So, and it takes them a little bit longer than 8 weeks for them to be able to actually control their pee and their poo. But it didn't take any of my girls or boys, my fur babies. It didn't take very long for any of them to really potty train. It was between Mikey and Shelby were actually very quick. They were potty trained within the first month that I had them. Mika, Sarah, and Parker took a little bit longer, but Sarah, the baby, took the longest. She was 9 months before she really stopped pooping and peeing in the house. There's always a pee pad at the back door. So in case she does have to go, or somebody has to go and I'm busy doing something, they know it's okay to go on the pee pad. I would way rather them go on the pee pad than just go and hide and do it somewhere else. So they don't get heck when they do go on the pee pad. But I regularly take all of them outside, and most of them will tell me that they have to go. So they do train pretty quickly. They're actually very intelligent, and you can tell they already have their own personalities. Angela, your guy is a little bit laid back, but he'll get right in there, playing and tugging at somebody's ear or their leg or whatever. The little guy, the two little guys actually get pretty feisty. I guess because they're the littlest, they think they have to. They'll get really gnarly, growly when they're playing. So, and they love laying in the food and nibbling away. And that is From, F-R-O-M-M, puppy food. It's a bright pink package. It's called Puppy Gold. And the gold is in gold lettering. The first ingredient isn't duck, but it's one of the first. There's like 3 or 4 proteins right off the top, and duck is one of them. So much so, the adults love it. And they actually, their food is duck and sweet potato. So, I used to use a different brand, and the first ingredient in their puppy food was fish. And I found that the puppies always went to try and eat the adult food, because I open up the pen and I let them run around in the house, and I have to make sure that I take the adult food and pick it up and put it up, because it's bigger pieces than these little tiny ones. Not much, maybe two times the size, but able to choke them. So I have to put it up because it is duck, and the puppies love it. So I always have to put it up. But they would, when I used this other brand, they didn't really want to eat the puppy food. They always ran towards the adult food. And when the mom is lactating, you should always feed them a better food. So the more calories, vitamins, and minerals comes from the puppy food. And they didn't want to eat the puppy food because the first ingredient was fish. And it's not that they don't like fish, but they always went to their adult food because it was duck and pear. I don't feed the puppy food to my mums while they're pregnant, because that would just mean that they would have a big puppies, and you don't want to do that. That would just cause complications. But once the babies are born, I give mom basically Enfalac for puppies, for dogs, but I give it to the mom so that the mom is getting extra calcium, and she's produces really good milk, and she eats the puppy food from then on, because it's always in the playpen with her. And for the first couple weeks, the only time she comes out of the playpen, the only time she wants to come out of the playpen, is when she goes to the bathroom. So she always has, whoever the mom is, they always have their puppy food in here, so that they're not taking from themselves to make sure that the puppies are all good and healthy and getting everything they need. And she gets the milk supplement 3 times a day, 2 scoops. And if you know anything about baby formula, you get a little scoop in there, a little capful. She gets 2 scoops 3 times a day. And I mix it up with sassy water, warmed sassy water. And for the first 2 weeks, that's what she gets. And then the third week, the first week she gets 3 times 2 scoops 3 times a day. The second week, she gets 1 scoop 3 times a day. The third week, she gets 1 scoop twice a day. And the fourth week, she gets 1 scoop once a day, because she's starting to not feed them anymore, and she needs to cut back on her calcium anyway. She doesn't need any extra because she's going to be in the process of weaning, and we don't need her overproducing milk, because again, that just hurts her. And what we do for her now is I take cabbage leaves and I put it in the food processor, as though I was going to make a coleslaw. And I just blend it up so that it's mulchy and all the juice, and I put it in some cotton, like a poultice, and I put that on all of her teats, and I wrap her with a tensor, lightly wrap her so it's not tight or anything, but the juices from the cabbage absorb into her teats, and there's a chemical in there that helps them stop making milk. Wish I had known that when I was breastfeeding my children. Yeah. And it works really quick too. Her teats might get hard for about 1 day, for about 24 hours. But I change that poultice at least twice a day, so that was that cold water? Did you like walking in the water? Yeah, you silly baby. So I change her poultice at least twice a day, and within 3 to 4 days she's done. She's not making any more milk. And this helps too, putting the screen up so they can't see. Out of sight, out of mind. And it really does help, because I've done it without it. Somebody's pooping. And knock on wood, they all have normal poop. Nobody has anything runny or anything like that. It really is really good. Yeah, see, doesn't stick to them, to their butts or anything, so it's really, really well formed. Sorry if that grossed anybody out. My daughter, best friend, one of her best friends came down, and her mom is a groomer. She's actually my groomer, but she was a groomer before I even knew her. And they came to my house, and of course ended up talking about puppy poop, because it was it was not last week but the week before, and then ended up going over to her mom's house the next day and ended up talking about puppy poop and whatnot. And her mom is a dog groomer but has a couple cats. So yeah. Sometimes we talk about puppy poop, but they're all getting tired out. They're gonna go to sleep soon, so I must change some pee pads and get back to making supper. And wow, this is a half an hour. Woo! It's going to take a while to upload. Well, I hope everybody is having a great weekend, nice and cool and everything. Stay home, stay safe, and don't panic buy. I see people out there, there's limits on toilet paper and paper towel and everything already. Shelves are going bare again. Make sure you have your shelves stocked. Don't let yourself run out. But do stay home and stay safe. Stay home if you can. Everybody have a great day.